She stood soaked and shivering in Chic Atelier, champagne dripping from her braids, perfume burning her eyes, a torn gown dangling in her hands, humiliated simply because she dressed too simply, unfit by their standards, for a luxury fashion house. The staff sneered. She's here for selfies, fake rich, as they slashed her clothes, marked her a thief, and dragged her out. The crowd jeered trash until her husband's $32 million Rolls-Royce Le Rose Noir droptail pulled up, leaving everyone stunned and terrified. Chic Atelier was the crown jewel of Melrose Avenue, where the wealthy shopped like money meant nothing. Elena walked in, wearing sneakers, drawn to the emerald gowns and crisp silk suits. She wasn't there to impress, just to treat herself. After months of building shelters for homeless youth, pouring in her time, energy, and quiet donations, she wanted something simple, something beautiful, something for herself. Not a soul greeted her. Sasha, a saleswoman in a sleek red dress, fiddled with a display, her back a wall. Marcus, slick-haired and smug, leaned on the counter, thumbing his phone. Lila, a blonde with a tablet, flicked her eyes up, then down, like Elena was a stain to ignore. Elena approached Sasha, voice soft. "Excuse me, how much is this gown?" Sasha didn't budge, just muttered, "If you have to ask, it's not for you," loud enough to sting. Elena kept her smile, moved to the silk suit, her fingers grazing its edge. Marcus snorted, "Hands off. She's here for selfies, wants to play rich for her Instagram." Leela smirked, "Probably can't even spell Atelier." The whispers sharpened. Sasha sidled up to Marcus. "Look at her. Flea market reject. Bet she's got a bus pass, not a bank account." Marcus grinned. "Trying to flex in our world. Pathetic." Lila laughed. "Maybe she's lost. Target's that way." Customers turned. Women in designer shawls, men in tailored blazers, eyes scraping Elena, lips twisting. Sasha didn't let it drop. She grabbed a perfume bottle from the counter, spritzed it in Elena's face, and laughed as the sharp scent stung her eyes. "There, now you smell like you belong." "Oh, wait, you don't," Marcus hooted. "Owned, loser!" While Lila smirked, "Still can't mask the cheap." The mist burned Elena's skin, her brown eyes watering, but she didn't recoil, just wiped her face with her sleeve, her sneakers planted firm. Customers leaned in. A woman in a silk scarf snickered, "She's a walking thrift shop." Sasha tossed the bottle back. "Next time, shower before you crash our vibe." To pile on, Sasha grabbed a mannequin scarf, draped it mockingly over Elena's shoulders, and strutted around her, mimicking a runway walk. "Look, she's a model now." The crowd roared with laughter, phones flashing as they filmed. A man in a fedora called out, "She's a charity case, not a client." Elena's braids swayed, damp strands sticking, but her smile held, calm, unshaken, a wall they couldn't topple. She didn't blink, just lifted the emerald gown and cream suit, draping them over her arm, and walked to the counter. Her sneakers tapped steady, her dignity a fortress they couldn't crack. Marcus escalated it. He snatched a hanger from a rack and swung it at Elena's legs, the metal clanging as it grazed her shin. "Get moving, selfie girl. Stop clogging our space." Leela laughed. "She's a tripping hazard," while Sasha clapped, "Sweep the trash out." The sting bloomed red on her skin, her jeans catching the edge, but Elena didn't stumble, just stepped aside, her hands steady on the outfits. A guy in a velvet jacket jeered, "She's a mannequin reject." Marcus twirled the hanger. "Maybe we should hang her up. Cheaper than these threads." A new employee, Trent, a tall man with a goatee, joined in, tossing a pair of knockoff sunglasses at Elena's feet. "Try these, wannabe. They're more your budget." The crowd howled as Elena bent to pick them up, only for Trent to kick them away, smirking, "Oops, too slow." Elena's brown eyes flickered, but she didn't snap, her silence a steel thread they couldn't cut. At the checkout, Elena set the outfits down, her smile unshaken. Marcus stood there, arms crossed. "You kidding?" She nodded, pulling a black card from her wallet. Matte, no logo. "The kind you don't chase. The kind chases you." A centurion whispered among the ultra-rich. "Invite only. Bottomless." She slid it over. "These two, please." Marcus froze, the card catching the light. He swiped it. Beep. Approved. $18,000 vanished like smoke. Sasha's jaw dropped. Layla's tablet trembled. Elena reached for the bags, but Marcus snatched the card back. "Hold up, this isn't yours. Where'd you steal it?" Sasha grabbed the bags. "No way she's legit. She's a crook." Lila took it further. She grabbed a pair of scissors from the counter and slashed at the emerald gown in Elena's arms, the fabric ripping loud as she sneered, "You don't deserve this. Back to rags." Sasha cackled, "Shred her dreams." while Marcus hooted, "Cut rate fits her better." Trent, not to be outdone, grabbed a marker and scribbled fraud across the cream suit, tossing it at her. "Wear your truth, thief." The torn silk dangled, threads unraveling, and Elena held the ruined gown, her fingers tracing the gash, but she didn't flinch, just set it down, her calm a beacon they couldn't dim. A woman with a gold clutch gasped, then laughed. "She's a walking clearance sale." Lila tossed the scissors. "Next time, stick to hand-me-downs." Elena's braids loosened more, but her smile stayed, quiet, unshattered. The room ignited. Lila barked, "We're not giving $18,000 to a scam." Customers pressed in, phones filming. A woman in a feathered hat sneered, "If you're faking rich, at least dress the part." Elena stayed calm. "It's mine. Elena Carter. Check the name." Marcus laughed. "Sure, and I'm Jeff Bezos. Security." Two guards charged in, big, buzz-cut, badges glinting. One clamped her arm, the other her elbow. "Out!" the first growled, yanking her toward the door as Sasha clutched the card. Lila gripped the bags and the crowd jeered. "Caught trash!" Sasha piled on. She snatched a glass of champagne from a tray and flung it at Elena, the cold liquid splashing her tee and jeans as she shrieked, "Here's your VIP drink, thief." Marcus laughed. "She's sparkling now," while Lila smirked. "Matches her fake shine." Fart. The bubbles fizzed on her skin, soaking her through, and Elena stood there, dripping, her sneakers squelching. But she didn't waver, just wiped her eyes, her brown gaze steady. A man in a pinstripe suit cheered, "Drown the fraud." Sasha tossed the glass aside, washed the grime off. "Oh wait, it's permanent." Elena's braids dripped, but her calm held, a rock they couldn't break. They dragged her through the store, her sneakers skidding, her braids unraveling, dark strands spilling wild. A woman in a fur coat cackled, "Back to the streets." A man with a Rolex snapped a pic. "This will blow up online." Marcus capped it. He grabbed a marker and scrawled "fake" across Elena's tee as the guards pulled her, the black ink bleeding into the wet fabric as he jeered, "Label her right. She's a knockoff." Lila laughed. "Brand her for the street," while Sasha clapped, "Perfect. She's tagged." The ink smeared, staining her chest, and Elena stumbled, her sneakers slipping. But she didn't cry, just straightened, her brown eyes hard. Her smile gone, but her strength blazing. A woman in a diamond tiara snapped a pic. "She's a meme now." Marcus tossed the marker. "Wear it proud, wannabe." Elena's jeans clung wet, but her spine stayed iron. They couldn't bend her. The guards shoved her past the glass doors onto Melrose Avenue, the sun blinding, the crowd's laughter a whip. Elena stood there, jeans dusty, tee creased, but her brown eyes held firm. She pulled her phone, dialed, voice steady. "Hey, love, I need you to get your card back from a store that stole it. Chic Atelier, they threw me out." A pause, then, 15 minutes. "Okay." She hung up, smile faint, her strength a quiet ember glowing. Time crawled, cars purred, palms rustled. Then a silver Maybach rolled up, its sleek curves cutting the street like a knife. Damon Carter wasn't born to this. He'd clawed up from a Chicago tenement, a kid with patched jeans and a mom who worked 3 jobs. At 16, he taught himself to code on a library PC, turning sleepless nights into a renewable energy startup that cracked the tech game wide open. By 32, Carter Solutions was his empire, grids powering cities, patents stacking billions, his name a quiet terror in corporate wars. He met Elena at a community center, her organizing youth programs to fund Safe Haven, him mentoring kids after a deal. They clicked over shared scars, building a life where wealth was a tool, not a crown. At 35, he was Forbes' most powerful man, but he still drove his first beat-up van on weekends, his suits hiding a guy who'd fought for every dime. That black card, a gift he'd given Elena, a symbol of their grind, now stolen by fools who'd never know the weight of it. The door swung open, and Damon Carter stepped out. Tall, 35, short locks, neat gray suit, sharp as steel, hazel eyes cool and unreadable. Forbes had just named him America's most powerful man, a billionaire who'd forged Carter Solutions from a basement dream into a tech energy titan, his solar grids lighting half the West Coast, his influence a shadow over global markets. His quiet authority didn't shout, it commanded. He strode into Chic Atelier, the air snapping tight, every head whipping around. Damon stopped at the counter, voice low. "My wife was just thrown out of here. You took her card. I want it back." Sasha stammered. "Sir, we thought—" He cut her off. "Also, I'm buying this store to shut it down permanently." Silence slammed down. Marcus's phone clattered. Lila's tablet hit the floor. Sasha's face went ghost white. Customers froze, shawls gripped, blazers stiff. Damon pulled his own black card, handed it to Nadia, the manager who'd rushed in, skirt tight, eyes wide. "Call your owner," he said. "Damon Carter's offer, cash, now." Nadia fumbled her phone. "Mr. Carter wants Chic Atelier, all of it, immediate sale." A nod. "Done." He turned to the staff. "You're fired. Everyone, get out." Sasha begged, "Please, I didn't mean—" Damon's glare stopped her. "You accused my wife of theft, dragged her out. Leave." His face didn't soften. His hazel eyes cold as steel, cutting through their sobs like a blade through paper. "Mercy. You didn't show my wife any." Sasha wailed. "We'll apologize. Please." But he stepped back, her hands grasping air. "You don't get it. She stood here calm while you sprayed her, cut her clothes, threw her out. And you think tears fix that?" Marcus croaked. "We'll make it right." Damon's voice dropped, lethal. "You had your chance. You chose cruelty over decency. Now live with it." Lila reached for his shoe. "I've got kids." He pulled away. "Should have thought of them before you laughed her out. Get up. You're done." The room held its breath, their begging a dying echo against his unyielding stance. Marcus stuttered. "We didn't know." Damon snapped. "You didn't care. Go." Sasha hit her knees first, her red dress bunching as she grabbed at Damon's pant leg, tears streaking her mascara. "Please, Mr. Carter, I've got rent. I'll starve without this job." Farton, Marcus dropped next, his slick hair falling flat, hands clasped. "I didn't mean it. Give me one chance. I'm begging." Lila crumpled beside them, tablet long gone, sobbing, "I'll work for free, anything. Just don't ruin me." The guards shuffled forward, one muttering, "We were just following orders. Have mercy." Customers gawked, phones trembling as the staff groveled, their voices a desperate chorus clawing at the air. Nadia, the manager, stood frozen, her skirt stiff, whispering, "Sir, reconsider. They're sorry." But their pleas bounced off Damon, hollow against the memory of Elena's stained tea and steady eyes. Lila whimpered, "It was a mistake." He pointed to the door. "Your mistake. Out." The guards hesitated. He turned. "You two, drop the badges." They obeyed, shuffling off. Customers backed away, phones limp, faces pale as the truth hit. Elena wasn't the fraud. They were the clowns. Damon took the card from Sasha's trembling hand, the bags from Lila's, and walked out, leaving their world in ashes. Sasha's red dress was a rag now, her perfume a bitter memory. She'd sprayed the woman whose shelter saved lives, and her sneers echoed as she begged on curbs, her blacklist a chain she'd forged. Marcus's slick hair hung limp, his hanger swing a scar. He'd bruised the heart of Safe Haven, and his retail dreams rotted, his marker scrawl a tattoo on his own ruin. Lila's tablet was trash, her scissors a curse. She'd slashed the soul of Chic Atelier's end, and her laughter faded as doors slammed shut, her fall a mirror to Elena's rise. The guards' badges rusted, their shoves a noose. They'd hauled out Damon's wife, and their names sank with the store's sign, smashed under his wrath. Damon's quiet strike and Elena's steady grace burned their world to cinders. Every taunt, every cut, a boomerang that crushed them, their own venom, the axe that fell. 3 hours later, the Chic Atelier sign crashed down, workers unbolting it, gold letters smashing the pavement. The store went black, lights off, locks changed, windows boarded. Word raced, Carter Solutions owned it, and Damon killed it cold. The staff, Sasha, Marcus, Lila, the guards, blacklisted fast. Retail doors slammed shut, resumes shredded, calls ghosted, names poison. Sasha's dress hit a thrift rack, Marcus's slick hair dulled. Lila's tablet swapped for a sign. Help. Their sneers had torched their lives, and Elena's quiet exit had lit the match. Months later, Elena walked with Damon down an LA street, her jeans still worn, her tee still plain, her braids loose as ever, her brown eyes shining. She'd just opened another safe haven shelter, funded by their fortune's silent stream. A beggar slumped against a wall, coat ragged, hand shaking. Elena slowed, looked close. It was Sasha, hair greasy, eyes sunken, the woman who'd snatched her card and laughed as she was hauled out. Sasha rasped, "Spare change?" Elena paused, pulled her wallet, slipped a $10 bill into Sasha's palm. Her fingers brushed the rough skin. Her smile flickered. Then she walked on with Damon, sneakers tapping steady, her kindness a quiet roar. That $10 wasn't charity. It was a mirror reflecting Sasha's ruin from her own hands. Elena didn't need to speak. Her life roared louder than their hate. Damon's move had raised their kingdom, but her calm sealed it. Chic Atelier dust. Their jobs gone. Their mockery, a blade that cut them down. She rose higher. They sank low, and justice burned clean. But the story didn't end there. A week later, Elena got a call from a local news outlet. Someone had leaked the security footage from Chic Atelier, and it went viral. Millions of views, hashtags trending. Jiaoqigar, justice for Elena. Jarar, Chic Atelier down. The clip showed Elena's unshaken calm, the staff's cruelty, and Damon's ice-cold takedown. But the real kicker? The footage also caught Sasha, Marcus, and Lila sneaking into the store's break room after hours, posing with designer bags for their own fake rich selfies, giggling about how they'd scammed their way to the top. The internet erupted, memeing their hypocrisy into oblivion. Elena laughed till her sides hurt, sharing the clip with Damon over coffee. Guess they got their selfies after all, she said, grinning. Damon smirked. Karma's got a better camera. If you've ever been judged by how you look, hit like, drop a comment, and subscribe for more stories that hit. Better yet, share your own story below. Let's call out the Sashas, Marcuses, and Lilas of the world and lift up the Elenas. Stand tall, stay kind, and let justice do the rest. Months after the Chic Atelier sign smashed onto Melrose Avenue's pavement, Elena's life had settled into a rhythm of purpose. Her sneakers still tapped the same steady beat, her jeans still worn, her braids swinging loose as she walked through LA's bustling streets. Safe Haven, her network of shelters for homeless youth, had grown. 3 new locations opened, funded by the quiet fortune she and Damon funneled into hope. The viral video of Chic Atelier's collapse had done more than humiliate Sasha, Marcus, and Lila. It had turned Elena into an accidental icon. Strangers stopped her at coffee shops, sharing stories of being judged, thanking her for standing tall. Hashtags like "Sheer Justice for Elena" still trended, and her calm in the face of cruelty inspired murals on community center walls. A silhouette of a woman in sneakers, head high, braids flowing, with the words "Kindness wins" painted beneath. But Elena didn't bask in the spotlight. Fame felt like a borrowed dress, ill-fitting and heavy. She preferred the quiet moments, mentoring kids at Safe Haven, teaching them to code, or laughing with Damon over takeout in their modest loft. Yet the world had other plans. The video's reach caught the eye of a documentary filmmaker, Zara Brooks, who wanted to tell Elena's story. Not just Chic Atelier, Zara said over coffee, her eyes bright with conviction. Your shelters, your vision. It's a movement. Elena hesitated. Her work wasn't about cameras. It was about lives. But Zara pressed. People need to see what's possible when you don't break. Damon, ever her anchor, squeezed her hand. Your call, love. But you've already changed the game. Elena agreed, on one condition. The film would focus on the youth, not her. Filming began at Safe Haven's newest shelter, a converted warehouse with murals and tech labs where kids learned skills to rewrite their futures. Elena guided Zara's crew through dorms and classrooms, her smile warm as she introduced teens like Malik, who'd coded his first app, and Aisha, who'd started a poetry club. The kids adored her, calling her Big Sis, their trust a testament to her heart. But not everyone was thrilled. Rumors swirled online. Trolls, egged on by anonymous accounts, claimed Elena had staged the Chic Atelier incident for clout. She's no saint, one post read, just a hustler with a rich husband. The comments stung, but Elena shrugged them off. Haters gonna hate, she told Damon, tossing her phone aside. I've got work to do. The real trouble came when Zara uncovered a lead. Digging for the documentary, she traced the troll accounts to a surprising source, Leela, the former Chic Atelier employee who'd slashed Elena's gown. Leela hadn't vanished quietly. Blacklisted from retail, she'd pivoted to a shady corner of the internet, running a gossip blog under the alias Melrose Insider. Her posts didn't just attack Elena, they targeted Safe Haven, accusing it of mismanaging funds and exploiting kids for PR. Elena Carter's a fraud, Lila wrote, using sob stories to scam donations. The lies spread fast, amplified by click-hungry influencers. Donations to Safe Haven slowed, and parents hesitated to enroll their teens, spooked by the noise. Elena felt the weight, but refused to crumble. She called a meeting at Safe Haven, gathering staff, volunteers, and the kids. We've been hit before, she said, her brown eyes steady. This is just another hanger swing. We keep building. Malik, the coder, raised his hand. Miss Elena, let's fight back. I can make a website. Show the truth. Aisha chimed in. I'll write poems. Tell our stories. The room buzzed with ideas, and Elena's heart swelled. These kids, her family, were her fortress. Damon, leaning in the doorway, nodded. Let's do this, team. They launched a campaign called Safe Haven Speaks. Dish. Malik's website went live, showcasing videos of kids sharing how the shelter changed their lives, stories of first jobs, college acceptances, and found families. Aisha's poetry slammed Lila's lies with raw truth, her lines going viral. You call us props, but we're the plot, building dreams you never thought. Elena stayed behind the scenes, letting the youth shine, but her calm fueled their fire. Zara's crew filmed it all, capturing the shelter's heart. Donations trickled back, then surged. Supporters flooded Melrose with signs. We stand with Safe Haven. The trolls faltered, their venom drowned by love. But Lila wasn't done. Desperate to claw back relevance, she escalated, posting a doctored photo of Elena, pocketing cash labeled donation funds. The image hit X like a grenade, sparking outrage before anyone checked its authenticity. Elena laughed when she saw it. Her Photoshop skills as a teen were better than that. Damon, less amused, called his cyber team. They'd trace it, he said, voice clipped. Within hours, they had proof. Lila had forged the image on a borrowed laptop, her digital fingerprints all over it. Damon wanted to sue, but Elena had another idea. Let's invite her, she said, eyes glinting. Give her a chance to see what she's trying to break. Against Damon's better judgment, Elena sent Lila a letter, handwritten, offering a tour of Safe Haven. Come see the truth, it read. No cameras, just us. So, Lila, cornered by her own lies, showed up, hair dyed badly, nails chipped, her swagger gone. Elena greeted her with coffee, no trace of malice. The tour was quiet at first. Lila's eyes darted, expecting a trap, but Elena showed her the dorms, the tech lab, Malik's app demo, Aisha's poetry wall. Kids waved, unafraid, their joy a mirror to Lila's bitterness. In the garden, where teens grew vegetables, Lila broke. Why are you doing this? She whispered, voice cracking. I ruined you. Elena smiled, soft but firm. You tried, but this, she gestured to the shelter, this is bigger than your scissors. Lila sobbed, the weight of her choices crushing her. Elena handed her a tissue. You can still choose different. Start small. Lila left, silent, her blog going dark that night. The documentary, Safe Haven Rising, premiered to packed theaters. It wove Elena's story, Chic Atelier, the trolls, the comeback, with the kids' triumphs, ending with Aisha's poem over footage of the shelter's garden. Critics raved, audiences wept. Safe Haven's waitlist grew, and Elena hired more staff, including, to everyone's shock, Lila. She'd returned weeks later, asking to volunteer. I don't deserve it, Lila said, eyes down. Elena hired her to tend the garden, a nod to her own belief in second chances. Lila wasn't forgiven, not fully, but she was trying, her hands in dirt, a far cry from her scissors. One night, Elena and Damon sat on their loft's balcony, city lights twinkling. You're trouble, Damon teased, kissing her forehead. Elena grinned. Good trouble. A notification pinged. Zara's text. The documentary was Oscar buzzed. Elena laughed, braids swaying. Guess kindness got a sequel. If you've faced lies or risen above, share your story below. Hit like, comment, and subscribe to keep the fight for justice alive. Let's grow safe havens everywhere. Stand tall, stay kind, and let truth bloom like a garden nobody can uproot.